Part of my American history series of videos, I'm fascinated with all things Western. I want to do a quick video on the lasso, the lariat, or as cowboys call it, the rope. Just absolutely fascinated with this, how it's a piece of American history but also currently still being used. So stay with me.
The lasso, the lariat, or the rope, as cowboys call it. It's a stiff rope so that the noose always stays open and it can be thrown easily. It's often braided from rawhide, but modern day ropes are mostly made of nylon. It's primarily used to pull steers in from the range so they can be branded for identification. Other things that the rope has been used for is to pull cattle out of mud, rescue a drowning cowboy, help free up a chuck wagon that's stuck in the mud, hauling wood to campfire, or it can be thrown around a tree limb and used to dispense ultimate justice out in the West in the olden days. So that's just a quick overview of the rope, the lariat or the lasso.
In one of my previous videos I talked about George Lucas and how he always had some sort of unique weapons and tools in his stories. Like for instance, all three of the original trilogy Star Wars movies, there was a swashbuckling scene where Luke was swinging like on a rope. It's a throwback to like Pirates and Zorro and old movies that George had watched growing up. But then they had cool things like the lightsaber and of course Indiana Jones's whip. And I was thinking, how could I possibly, I love that type of creativity with using non-traditional tools as like weapons and things like that in his stories. So I was always trying to think, how could I incorporate stuff like that into my stories? In my young adult fantasy, I had a boomerang and a shield that expanded. In my sci-fi novel, I have an expandable battle staff and also an electronic shield on their data pads that can expand as well, and battle armor. So I'm always trying to think, what's different? What hasn't been used yet? And I'm trying to figure a way to incorporate this into one of my stories. I know Wonder Woman has this lasso, and I think the Kingsman movies have a lasso, but not in a traditional sense, like a literal, just straight up rope. And one thing I've seen in a movie called The Violent Men with Glenn Ford is these cowboys were surrounding a good guy and they end up killing him by using their lariats or ropes. And they were basically whipping him with it. And I was trying to find out what the term for that is. And I looked all over the internet. I asked a Western group I'm with, and no one can really figure it out. I've heard buggy whip, bull whipping. And if anyone knows the actual term that you can use a rope to extend out and hit something, whether it's a rattlesnake on the side of the trail or a person or whatever, let me know, because I cannot find that. But anyways, thanks for watching, and have a good day.